Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will discuss some great Arduino projects. Without further ado, let's start with this project, called Spine Iron, is a posture tracking setup that makes your laptop physically follow the angle of your back. A gyroscope worn on the user detects how much they lean forward or backward. That posture data goes to an Arduino, which controls a motorized frame holding the laptop. As your back tilts, the motor adjusts the frame so the laptop tilts by the same amount. The frame is built from 3D printed parts: rods, bearings, springs, and a wooden base. A cord and pulley mechanism links the motor to the laptop mount, allowing smooth movement. Since a DC motor can't track position on its own, the project uses a homemade rotation sensor to estimate how far the motor has turned. The motor's coupling is wrapped with 4 evenly spaced strips of electrical tape. A copper wire rests lightly against the coupling. As the motor spins, the taped sections intermittently break contact with the wire. The Arduino reads these contact changes as simple on-off signals, allowing it to detect each quarter turn of the motor. 2 tilt sensors on the frame serve as limit detectors, preventing the system from moving beyond its safe range. This project is a fully functional frameless laser harp that lets you play music by interrupting beams of light. Instead of physical strings, a 3-watt laser is swept rapidly across a set of fixed positions, creating 7 virtual light strings. Whenever your hand breaks a beam, the system detects the interruption and triggers a musical note. At the core of the system is an Arduino-driven setup. One Arduino controls the laser and the stepper motor that scans the beam, while a second Arduino handles the sensors and outputs MIDI signals to your computer. A thin mirror mounted on a lightweight NEMA 16 stepper motor reflects the laser, and as the motor rotates in tiny steps, the beam appears as multiple vertical lines. Each beam's interruption is detected using a set of LDR sensors and ultrasonic modules mounted inside the enclosure. This is a fully custom bicycle lighting system built for safer rides. It includes bright front and rear lights, turn signals, handlebar-mounted controls, and a live display that shows speed, distance, ride time, and more. The handlebar setup features 3 buttons for turn signals and menu control, along with a small OLED display, all fitted into custom 3D printed mounts. A magnetic sensor on the wheel tracks rotations to calculate speed and sends the data to the display. The whole system runs on a rechargeable battery, with USB-C charging and a circuit that boosts the voltage to 5 volts. The rear light uses clusters of red and yellow LEDs for high visibility during the day. The front setup follows a similar design, with white LEDs for lighting and yellow ones for turn signals. Everything is neatly fitted onto a perf board and tucked inside a modified water bottle, keeping the setup discreet and harder to steal. It took him around 2 months to complete the project, but the end result was worth it. Our next project is a dedicated ATtiny 85 programmer built using an Arduino Nano and a small custom PCB. It gives you a simple, reliable way to upload sketches to ATtiny chips without wiring everything on a breadboard each time. The PCB is designed to hold the Nano, a ZIF socket for the ATtiny, indicator LEDs, and a removable capacitor. There's also a small header so you can program an ATtiny that's already soldered onto another board. To use it, the Nano runs as the ISP. Open the Arduino IDE, load the ATtiny core, and upload the Blink sketch through the programmer. The onboard LED confirms the sketch uploaded correctly. Once set up, this tool saves a lot of time. It lets you quickly test code, burn bootloaders, or prototype ideas using the ATtiny 85. Before we move forward, a word from our sponsor. If you're working on electronics projects, you know how important it is to have an ECAD environment that keeps your designs organized and reliable. A good workflow should offer clear version control, rule-based checks, real-time collaboration, and visibility into component availability so you can move from concept to a manufacturable board with fewer mistakes. That's the approach Altium focuses on, helping engineers maintain consistency and manage their projects more efficiently. And for students who want to learn these skills early, there's Altium Student Lab. It's a free learning program that introduces professional design workflows through guided lessons, a cloud workspace, collaboration tools, and certification. To get more details, visit the link in the description. This project turns a regular paper hole punch into a fully automatic sensor-triggered machine powered by an Arduino Uno. A servo motor provides enough torque to drive the punch mechanism, which is connected through a simple slider and gear system made from 3D printed parts. An ultrasonic sensor sits at the front and detects when your hand moves into range. That signal triggers the servo, pushes the punch down, and then returns it to the starting position. The ultrasonic sensor and an OLED display run directly from the Arduino, while the servo gets its own 5-volt supply to avoid power drop-offs. The design still has room for refinement, especially in strengthening the servo mount. But even this version handles repetitive punching far better than doing it by hand. Max designed and built an RC drift car entirely from scratch. This was one of those projects that take real patience, as it involved putting together many small and delicate parts. He started by designing the car in Fusion 360. Every piece, from the smooth outer shell to the internal frame, was modeled to fit together like a puzzle. The car features 4-wheel drive for better grip, rear wheels loose enough to slide, and a wide stance for that classic drift look. But this car wasn't just about appearance. It produced real smoke. A small system at the back released clouds as the wheels spun, making each drift feel like a scene from a movie. Underneath, glowing lights added an extra touch. It wasn't all smooth, though. Making the car drift without flipping, keeping the smoke system from overheating, and fitting all the wires inside the compact body, each part came with its own challenge. But when it finally hit the floor and slid sideways with smoke in the air, it all paid off. Next, we have a fully 3D printed robotic arm. What makes it stand out is a custom control panel made with processing. It lets you move each joint in real time, save motion sequences, replay them on loop, and even import or export saved positions. The arm was built in sections with servos placed in the base, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and claw. One of the trickiest parts was keeping all the servos set to their middle position during assembly to avoid alignment problems later on. Wires were neatly managed by running them through built-in channels inside the arm. A separate 5-volt, 3 amps power supply was used to run the servos, while the Arduino handled commands sent from the control panel to move each joint. The interface also includes helpful features like speed adjustment for playback and a reset button to clear all saved movements. Tired of getting up to open the blinds? Then we have a project by DIY Builder that makes this process easier. It's a fully voice-controlled window blind system that works completely offline. No Wi-Fi, no cloud, just local voice recognition using the VC2 module. The module connects to an Arduino Nano and supports 121 built-in commands along with 17 custom ones. It can even be trained to recognize unique sounds, whatever you may like. To move the blinds, the system uses a NEMA 17 stepper motor. A custom PCB and a 3D printed case were designed to give the project a clean, finished look. The system responds to the commands instantly and can even open them halfway if you want more control. Just have a look. Hey Panda, open the window blinds. Jay wanted a scoreboard for his cardboard-made video game, one without lights or screens. After trying too many complicated ideas, he finally went with a split-flap display, like the ones used in old train stations. It runs on a stepper motor and flips through printed flaps to show different characters. The display has 8 modules, and each one holds 16 characters, just enough for numbers and a few funny messages when you lose. It might look simple, but building it was far from easy. The flaps had to be extremely thin to fit inside a compact drum, so he chose multicolored 3D printing instead of stacking acrylic sheets. For better speed and strength, he used a high-speed motor and connected it to the drum using a belt drive. Once finished, the scoreboard was fully in sync with the game. It tracks your score, speeds up as you get better, and even throws in a few taunts when you mess up. Morse code may seem old school, but it's still a crucial language for radio operators and communication fans. With this project, you will learn how to automatically decode Morse code. It uses an Arduino Nano to decode up to 60 words per minute, making it great for live use or Morse training. The decoder translates dots and dashes into readable text on a small LCD display. The circuit is surprisingly simple. Just a few capacitors, a resistor, and a diode, all mounted on a small PCB. The device picks up audio from a radio receiver or a simulated continuous wave signal, with a minimum input of 1 volt peak to peak. You can also attach a telegraph key or a basic switch to use it as a Morse code trainer. It's accurate, responsive, and easy to use, even for beginners. This might look like a regular PC, but it hides a secret feature: a built-in FM jammer powered by Arduino. Bijan designed a neon green retro-style case and installed an old Lenovo motherboard with an Intel i7 and an SSD. But the real twist sits behind the front panel, a custom circuit that jams FM signals. The jammer uses a simple transistor-based setup to create interference in the FM band. It's controlled by an Arduino Nano, which sets the frequency and turns the jammer on or off with a switch. To keep things interactive, he added a physical antenna and a toggle switch. Upon flipping it, and nearby FM stations disappear. He also added a 5-inch LCD screen styled like a vintage CRT, along with a split mechanical keyboard built directly into the case for a full hacker vibe. This project is a compact one-handed controller designed for reading long text on a desktop PC. It works like a physical page turner. Rotating its wheel sends page up and page down inputs to your computer, letting you flip pages in Kindle or web novels without touching the keyboard or mouse. The device is built around an Arduino Pro Micro and a mouse wheel-style rotary encoder. The housing, grip, wheel, and internal board are all 3D printed. Inside, the encoder connects directly to the Pro Micro through 2 pin socket rows mounted on a small printed board. A single M3 bolt holds the board to the lid, and the grip and case lock everything together tightly. This jumping robot was built by Jacob. At first, he designed a mechanism using 2 springs to make it jump. He used a small DC motor and a 3D printed gearbox, but it wasn't strong or fast enough to lift the robot properly. To improve it, he swapped in stronger airsoft springs and replaced the motor with a modified servo that had more torque. He also added aluminum pipes to make the frame sturdier. The jumping mechanism was redesigned to handle the new springs, and the gearbox was updated to speed up the compression. After putting everything together, he tested it, but the jump height still wasn't quite right. So he added a drive system with small motors that increased the blast range and flexible wheels to soften the landing. Finally, he installed the electronics, an Arduino, a motor driver, and a battery, all neatly packed into the robot's frame. This time, the robot jumped and landed much better than before. This project takes aviation scanning to a whole new level. Scarp is a custom-designed aviation radio receiver that lets you hear multiple aircraft at once without constantly switching frequencies or adjusting squelch. It's built around a high-performance RF board and controlled with an Arduino. The RF section is designed for excellent sensitivity and clarity, so you can pick up distant aircraft cleanly. It supports both 25 kHz and 8.33 kHz spacing, and you can even tune down to 1 Hz resolution for off-center signals. The squelch system is automatic, so every channel manages itself. In the current setup, 8 channels are scanned in real time, and each one can be toggled on or off with a button. When a channel becomes active, it lights up instantly. This project is a simple PID-controlled balancer that keeps a rolling object centered on a seesaw-style bar. The setup is straightforward. A 3D printed frame, a seesaw bar mounted on a bearing for smooth rotation, and a servo connected through a simple 3-to-1 gear reduction to give the motor more torque. The IR sensor is fixed above the bar, pointing down the chute. The sensor constantly measures how far the object is from the midpoint. That reading becomes the error. The system then uses a PID algorithm to correct that error by adjusting the angle of the bar through a microservo. The proportional term reacts to the current distance from center. The derivative term reacts to how fast the object is moving, and the integral term slowly corrects small errors that build up over time. Together, they let the bar move just enough to bring the object back to the middle without overshooting or shaking. If you've made it till here, then drop a like and subscribe to our channel to keep supporting us. We will be back with some great ideas soon. Till then, goodbye.